because I don't want you to get to be 50 years old and have very few memories.
Yeah. Aww. Are you crying?
Childhood. Well, I'm kind of wimpy. I know everybody.
You're getting old and sentimental.
Hey, Chasers. I'm Telanna.
And I'm Mercedes, and it's your favorite mother-daughter duo. And welcome back to today's episode where we are chasing another one of our biggest 100 goals.
And we are talking about today chasing more memories and less things.
Yes. So obviously this is a your goal this week because we're going to switch it up.
I feel like you're saying that because like I'm old or something. Like that came out. Can you try that again? Because that came out like this is an old person's goal. I need you to do this again.
No, like I like this goal.
Are you sure?
Mean, I do think that
I'm
you
not
are
feeling it.
I do feel like that you are getting old, but I am 100% in support of this.
Okay.
This chasing of the memories.
Okay.
Really stop.
I will be seeing you in person soon, ma'am. So.
You will, and we'll be chasing more memories because we love your middle child, I guess, is what we're saying here.
Yes. Okay.
She refuses to make an appearance, but that's fine.
She will someday.
Yeah, we'll just bribe her with food.
That is true. It's true.
Okay, so for our audience that's out here, I know that you've talked about chasing more memories and less things for a couple of years now, and I've definitely benefited from watching you do that and seeing how you've been intentional about that in your life. So tell us, mother. I should call you just mommy. It feels weird calling you mother.
It sounds weird too. I'm like, who is she calling?
Well, because it's like weird because I'm like, mommy. Okay, I'll just call you mommy.
Okay,
Hi,
thank
mommy.
you. Hi.
Tell me about this endeavor to chase more memories and less things.
So I think, can I say woke? I can say woke.
You can say woke, just not in Florida, in Tallahassee, where we're going tomorrow. The governor won't like that.
Since I'm in Orlando, I'm going to say,
okay.
I kind of woke up and I guess it was probably like the end of 2017 and that led into 2018. And then by the time 2019 rolled around and I decided that I was going to get my coaching certification, a lot of these things started come up for me because the funny thing is I thought I was going to get my coaching certification to help coach my clients better. But it turns out, it makes you work on yourself first. And so that is really, that. I know, right? Well, that's supposed to happen like that. And so I think that's really where I became aware of wanting to shift to a different space when it came about the consumption of things.
In general, how have you, tell us about, this concept as a lifestyle? Because I think it's a lifestyle for you, right?
Well, I think it's become a lifestyle. And the funny thing about it is that, I just recently... let's say when we were thinking about doing this podcast as the second episode, and I was doing some research about what I wanted to really add to it, minimalist came up, and I was like,
you do not like those words.
What the heck? I'm not a minimalist.
Yeah, I know.
Well, first of all, I don't really like labels.
Yeah.
And I'm like, minimalist.
I said that you don't like words. You didn't even hear that. That's not what I meant. It's labels is right.
Yeah. Well, I knew what you meant. So it's okay. It's okay. I gave birth to you, child. I know what you meant.
Oh my gosh.
So
I did suck my teeth.
Yes, I know.
I don't know if that you could hear that.
I could hear that, but you're far away from me, so we're just gonna let that slide today. Okay.
Whatever. Okay. That's like your island thing. Like y'all gave that to me. Okay. Go ahead.
Whatever. So so I looked up minimalist, and I was like, okay, that is absolutely not me. And so I thought it was interesting. I read an article at the Minimalists. I believe it's the minimalist.com.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about how minimalism has helped them, and one of the things that they said is that it's helped them eliminate their discontent. It's helped them reclaim their time. It's helped them
Mhm.
live in the moment, pursue their purpose, discover their mission. And I was like, you know what? I am not going to read this because I feel like this is going to cause me to put a label on myself.
I don't understand that though.
Which part?
Okay, I understand the minimalist piece, like the benefits of minimalism. Because I think eventually, anyway, we'll get into that. Like, I think eventually that'll be something that's in alignment with you for me, but I don't understand why you get really like caught up in the labels thing. Like, why is label a bad thing?
I think it's a trigger for me because I feel like it's causing me to identify with something that I don't necessarily fully identify with, and I just want to just do my own thing. I don't want to be lumped into a group of people who say they're minimalists, even though,
You have
I
minimalist
probably am.
tendencies.
Part of it too is that, there's so much information in these internet streets. Like, I feel like now I didn't know what a minimalist was. So it was kind of an eye opener to me because I think when I think in terms of what minimalism is, I think about just clutter. I think about it from an art perspective, you know?
Yeah.
And so I enjoyed the article because it opened up the idea for me of what exactly it does mean. It doesn't mean I have less furniture, which is a big thought of which is a big part of what I thought it meant. That it mostly focused on things. And just reading this article, I feel like it focuses on just something that's important to me and that's really becoming.
So tell me a little bit more about that. Like, what do you mean when you say like becoming?
So I shared that a lot of things changed for me when I started my coaching certification. And I think it changed a little bit even before that, because I remember thinking when we went to Italy in 2016 and just seeing the homes in Europe and, the fact that they don't consume as much as we do because of, smaller refrigerators in their houses and all of this stuff. And I think I was thinking about it a little bit back then too. But I think part of the problem is, as a parent, who of course didn't have a silver spoon, or,
it's fine.
any spoon, I feel like you get older and you have kids and you want to just give them everything that you didn't have, and so naturally I think this whole thing comes from just wanting to let them enjoy life, or what you think enjoying life would be for them. And so I know for you that's different because you grew up when we were in a different economic status, but our our Gen Z, she's a little bit different, but now I think I even see it
That's
more.
generous.
That's
I'm sorry.
generous.
I'm gonna leave her alone.
Yes, I was being generous. Leave her
That
out of
was being
this.
so nice, but she might see this, so I won't rag on
Yeah.
her.
So when I look at
She's a little
KJ,
she's a consumer.
she is a consumer, very much so. Except I don't know where she gets that from. That's from her
No, you
aunts.
already know. That's from
That's from
that's
her
from her aunt
aunt
and her
on her
godmother.
dad's side and her godmother. So we can blame them. But
No, it's
yes.
also her aunt on her
Oh
mother's
yes,
side.
her aunt.
Don't even
Yes, I forgot
she
about
has
her
it.
too.
I don't understand. She didn't get that from you or me, but she
No,
definitely did
yeah,
get that,
but she did
honestly.
get that. She got that honestly. So
Yeah.
I can't be mad at her. And sometimes I do appease her, but
Sometimes. Okay, sorry.
okay, sorry.
Yeah, you are
You know
triggering
what?
me. Please move on. Move
Okay,
on.
I appease her a lot.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Do you feel better now?
Yes. Yeah. Validate my thoughts.
Okay.
We'll make this a therapy session.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I do think like, right, we have like this part of life, right, where it was definitely the struggle, but I do have a lot of different memories from like childhood of like being at Disney and like all the fun things that I did like with family and stuff. So, I mean, I think it's different because that is actually more of the memories pieces than the things pieces for me. I mean, there were
Yeah.
obviously things, but
Yeah.
so anyway, but I
Sure.
still think that same sentiment, like it remains. But yeah, it's a lot different for Trinity.
Yeah, and I feel like it's even more different from KJ for KJ, and
Who's your
that's one of
son?
yes,
Yeah.
which we learned in the last episode. So if you haven't listened to the last episode, and go back and listen to it, but uh, I see it even more from him now, because now I'm just like totally irritated by the fact that I'm constantly picking up all of these stupid little things. I'm like,
Yeah.
why is this here? Why is this here? Um, and I think that it's really important to really teach him too, like the value of creating these memories, and just not, especially in this day and age where they're just like stuck to the internet, stuck to the games. And I just really want to do something different other than consume things, because I don't like clutter anyway.
Yeah.
And so I one of the things that I was reading that I thought was so interesting was that the average home in Italy, or Europe as well, is 871 square feet. And the average home in the States is around 2,600.
Mm-hmm.
And even just being here, you see people with their garages full, like they can't even park their car in their garage because we have so much stuff. We consume so much stuff. And I I I don't think like I'm this green person, right?
No. I mean, there's levels to this.
Yeah, there's definitely different levels, and I don't feel like that's me. Yes, I try to recycle when I can, but um that's definitely not me saying that, okay, I'm going to try to do everything that I possibly can to, save the earth. I don't think about it as in that terms. I just feel like in this day and age, we need to have purpose in everything that we do. And the goal for my life right now, well, I will say right now and forward, is just to live intentionally. Like if I feel like there's no purpose to it, I don't want a part of it. I don't want to do anything with it. So I've gotten to this place now where I only do what I want to do, which some people may say sounds selfish.
I mean, what else is there to do other than what you want to do? Like, that's how I view it.
Yeah.
What else is there to do but to do what you want to do? Like, you're on this earth for a finite period of time. So why would I do anything other than what I want to do?
That is a good question. And I am so happy at 28 years old. You're 28, right?
I think so. I'm just kidding.
I'm so glad that at 28 years old, like you have that.
Hey there, it's Mercedes. If you're listening to this podcast, you probably have some pretty big dreams and aspirations. Are you looking to break into your dream job? What about pivot into a new career that aligns with your purpose? Or maybe you want to advance your career as an amazing Black woman. If any of this sounds like you, it's time for us to have a chat. In the show notes, you'll find a link to schedule a quick and free 15-minute career clarity chat with me. During our call, we'll dive deep into your career goals and I'll share some transformational career advice. If coaching with me could benefit you, we'll discuss that too. If you're feeling uncertain about your career, it can be tough, but it's possible to find clarity and direction. So why not take a step to your breakthrough and schedule your free career clarity chat with me today? The link is awaiting for you in the show notes, love. All right, let's get back to the episode.
But
I have no
my
chill, that's why.
my generation didn't, we weren't raised like that,
Yeah. Kudos to you, mommy.
I know, right? Hello.
There you go.
So say for instance, I was in Walgreens yesterday, right? I was out at the checkout, and it was probably, I think it was like 7 o'clock. I was at the register, and a lady that works at Walgreens was walking out. And she was talking to the cash register lady, saying goodnight or whatnot, asking her about her family. And the lady that was ringing me out had said, okay, have a good night. Go home and get some rest since you have to be back here early in the morning. And she was like, I doubt it because John, I don't remember her husband's name, right? She was like, no, because I'm going to get home and John's going to tell me these dishes need to be done or this needs to be done. And I'm like, Lord have mercy.
Let me tell you something, John.
Put me back in. It took everything in me, okay, to say, lady, go to sleep. It took everything in me to say, lady, tell John do the dishes. Leave the dishes. If you're tired, you're tired. You know what I mean? But I think that's just, she was older than me. I don't know if she was a Gen X, or older Gen X or boomer. I don't know. But what I do know is that she was walking out that door as tired as I don't know what, and already thinking about the fact that she was going to go into her home and have this person who loves her, I'm assuming.
That's generous. You're being very generous today, because debatable. But
looking at her tired, coming home at 7 o'clock, and I'm like, if you're already coming home at 7 o'clock, you tired. Coming home at 7 o'clock, and she's leaving thinking about somebody telling her she didn't do a chore. Now, if the devil ain't a liar, I don't know what is. I'm just
because all I know is that God just knew what generation to put me in, because I would have been scarlet letter out on the streets. Like, they would have burned me at the stake. Well, I guess I probably would have been a slave back then, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Lord have mercy.
No, but all I'm saying is, like, I was not built for that. You okay?
Yeah. It's like, we go in there.
Well, it's true. Because sometimes you look back at, like, historical context of, like, all these, like, frail white women that were, like, taken care of by their husbands. Yes. And then you were like, well, I couldn't have lived in that society. Like, no, you weren't one of those women. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so I want to get us a little bit back on track. So tell me about
can I back up for just 1 minute? Yes. Don't forget that question. Write it down. Because I just wanted to back you up a minute, because you said, well, why don't people just do whatever they want to do? Because you do. And so I gave you that story to say.
I will say that I know why people don't do what they want to do.
Well, and so what I wanted to share with that was just that, okay, here's this lady, and I don't know, since I'm turning 50, I would just say she's between 50 and 60. She might have even been older. But here she is at this age in her life where she just feels like she still has to do. She's, because of a learned behavior. Somewhere along the line, somebody said, this is what women do. You saw me experience those things early in my marriage, and I was just,
I was like, ain't no way.
Burnt out. Burnt out so much that I had to go on family strike.
Is that really what happened?
And just not do anything, and so I think it just gets to that point where you're like, I want something different. And it was just sad to me that here at her age,
she never did something different.
doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It was just sad. That's all.
It is sad.
I saw another comment on a post that was on Instagram where another lady said, she's basically almost at the end of her life and she has not found happiness.
That's crazy.
And it was like the saddest thing I had seen in forever when it comes to that, of course. We had a shooting yesterday, so of course that trumps that. But I'm like, that was one of the saddest things I have ever read. Like she literally said, I'm almost at the end of my life and I haven't found happiness yet. And it's like, I'm not even the type of person that likes to hug, but I really wanted to give her a hug and just say,
I can confirm that you don't like hugs.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, yeah, that is hard because it's one of those things where it took a lot of time to understand. Like, it is not easy to choose happiness.
No.
Like, it's actually really hard.
Actually, if I'm being honest with you, I don't even believe in happiness because I feel like happiness is just so fleeting. And I know what it feels like to be happy. But I feel like I put in the work, as you so said, the hard work these last years since 2019. And now it's joy.
Yeah.
And for me, happiness and joy isn't the same thing.
I mean, I do think it's how you view it because I think when you don't have like alignment in life, like then it is fleeting happiness. But I think when you have been and that's why I say like it takes hard work to be at a state of happiness or joy, or flow, right? Like in life, because I think there's like a flow in a moment of like doing something you enjoy, but there's a flow that, can be in life. I think about like where I am now from like where I was a year ago. And because I was taking so much time to understand what is required for me to truly feel happiness, like consistently, to feel like I have a happy life. And like, you could call it joy or other things. I mean, some people might even call it peace. But I think, essentially there is a fleeting sense of happiness. Like, and actually, you know what? I think this does have a lot to do with our topic today of like chasing more memories, less things. Because I think, especially with like our society and being so consumer driven, like it's the things that kind of give us that fleeting joy, of I bought something today on, especially like Amazon, right? Like that's why a package shows up every day, right? And you have that piece of like, this is my fleeting joy or my fleeting happiness. But it's the pieces of like the memories and the building the life over what like is in alignment for you that I think creates a happy life. Like, I think that's a good way to look at it.
I mean, so when you talk about peace, so I think for me, if I were going to make a comparison, I would say, I still don't think, and we can agree to disagree. I still don't think that happiness and peace are this. I mean, happiness and joy.
It's okay. I'm here. It's been a long day.
I know.
It's been a long week and it's only Wednesday.
Praise the Lord. So I still don't think, that those two are the same things. I feel like you said, happiness is the feeling you get when Amazon shows up, when your boyfriend, or I'm sorry, my bad. Can I say my bad? Is that still allowed? Your fiance.
My bad will always be allowed.
Okay. Your fiance cooks you an amazing dinner of nachos that he has never made for me.
Oh my gosh. I had more nachos today, but I had shrimp nachos. Girl, it's getting better every day.
You know what?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's happiness.
Okay. That's happiness. Okay. That's happiness. Happiness is when, he pulls out that rock and says, "Will you marry me?" That's happiness. But I feel like joy is peace. I feel like it is, and it never leaves you. So even in your darkest days, joy is still there to sustain you. And so I'm just going to have to disagree with you about that one.
That's okay. We don't have to argue.
I know.
I do disagree.
No, that's why I said. We can,
yeah, but it's okay. You see your life when it's in alignment as a state of joy, and I see it as a state of happiness.
I guess. Cool. We'll just keep it as that.
You are so petty.
Yeah.
You're like, fine, whatever.
I come from a long line of pettiness, and that's okay. I claim it.
Well, it just every year, every generation just multiplies.
Oh, we already know that.
I love how people think I'm sane, but it's like, oh, no. You've just seen me when I would like to behave so I can keep my paycheck. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, Mommy, what has chasing more memories and less things look like in your life?
It really looks like not having parties for people to come eat and leave. Like, I absolutely cannot do that. I'm just
okay,
joking.
but wait. Well, isn't that a memory?
It depends. You know?
Okay.
I guess if you value those memories. So I want to say, and so you make a very valid point. Mm-hmm. I don't say that to knock anybody that wants to do that, because yes,
cancel.
Whatever you know how I feel about canceling. Whatever is important to you. So I'm gonna reframe that and say, like, big parties and all that stuff's just not important to me. But something in a very intimate setting, at my absolute favorite restaurant, yes, that would be important to me. My 20th anniversary is also in January. Do I want to have a big renewal vow ceremony or something like that? Absolutely not. Would I love to just go on
20 years?
On a
I've
trip?
Been dealing with y'all for 20 years.
You have, girl. Shut your mouth. Now, going on a wonderful trip to Japan for the family.
I got married when I was 8.
You just having some type of revelation.
I don't know why I felt like I was older.
You felt like you
that
got
means
married?
I vividly remember things when I was 8.
Yes.
Y'all traumatized me. All right, that's fine.
Wow. Who you think barbecued for that epic 5th grade party you had?
I must have blurred that out. I didn't like your husband at the time.
Well, it happens. You know, it happens in blended families, so that's okay.
I like him now. That's okay.
Yeah. Well, some days I didn't like him either, but we good now.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so what I hear you saying is that when you kind of view this big party, like you view that as many things. Like you're buying all these things to have a party for people that you kind of really don't even want to talk to anyway. Yeah. And it's not like a memory that you would cherish. So it's not something that you're actively chasing.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, I just think about all of the times that we've done things, even the little things, you know, just like driving down to Western Florida and just going to Ceviche Arigato. And
that's like a core memory for you?
Yes, and just checking, going and checking in and sitting around the table at the resort, and like we literally just went to do nothing. We literally drove from Orlando down south Florida to go to a restaurant, and for the weekend we were in the resort and we were playing games, and we were doing nothing but just being together. Now, having said that, one thing just came up for me when you were talking about this is why I love awareness. This is why I love coaching, because even in these times, things just come up. I feel like I don't have a lot of those core values. I mean, core memories from my own life.
Mm.
And so I think, too, that's why it's really important for me to have them now and to make sure that my children have them, because I don't have a lot of them. And of course, having not taking anything away from my grandmother, but not being raised by my mom and not having my older sister there. I just want to make sure for you guys, even though you guys get on each other's nerves sometimes, that this is important. Hey y'all, Mama Telanna here. Have you been feeling tired of feeling like you're just stuck in a rut? Are you struggling to achieve your goals? No matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to stick with it. Do you find yourself constantly self-sabotaging and getting in your own way? Look, my mission here at Purpose Minded Woman is to help you take ownership of your life and begin to live with intention. And it starts with breaking free from the negative behavior patterns that are really holding you back, okay? To help you get started, I created a free resource, 6 simple steps to stop sabotaging your success. It is a powerful tool to help you identify the obstacles that are really getting in the way of your dreams. It's time to break free from your self-sabotaging habits and behaviors. And with this guide, you'll have the solutions you need and the implementation steps you can take to take action and control your thoughts so that you can begin to exist at your highest level. Get it now while it's available at purposemindedwoman.com. Because I don't want you to get to be 50 years old and have very few memories.
Yeah. Aw. Are you crying?
Childhood. Well, I'm kind of wimpy. I know everybody.
You're getting old and sentimental. That's good.
I've always been sentimental. It's just that
but you're just
I just do what I got to do and go past the sentimentalness. But now that I'm doing all of this inner work, I'm learning to sit in my feelings instead of just ignore them. It's okay for me to experience these feelings about what happened in my life, or instead of just ignoring them and just rolling through.
Yeah. So
which is a whole new level of strong woman, quote unquote.
Quote unquote. Okay. No, sorry. But I don't know if that it makes you feel better or not. But I feel like
great.
I have no.
I feel great.
Oh my god. I can't stand
I'm a great mom.
I love how you rebounded like that quickly. Yes. You're like, the healing has been done. But I think you were successful in that mission. Like, I feel like I have so many core memories. The interesting thing is that sometimes I remember these moments like in life and like family and just outings, and those were like those core memories of us, like the Easter egg hunts and
like my back when I'm trying to play marbles.
Yeah, but I was actually older than that. And like one of the things where it's like I'm so young, like should I actually remember those things? But like, the Easter eggs around Pop-Pop's house, my grandmother. I for some reason like I always have like the Six Flags pictures in my head.
Yeah.
That was like a big thing. I always remember like the trip, and I'm trying to remember, like I definitely remember like the trips to like south of the border, which is funny because right.
That is funny.
Where I couldn't remember it in its heyday. Sorry, Trinity. Anyway, so people know why we're laughing. What was it? 2 years ago, Trinity like really wanted to go to south of the border, and we were like, "Trust me, you don't want to go." And she's like, "I want to go," and I drove all the way to south of the border for us to be like the most, I don't know, anticlimactic drive of our entire life when we all knew that's what was going to happen. But you wanted Trinity to have core memories so much, Mommy, that we wasted that amount of time in a car.
We did.
To go to south of the border because Trinity really needed to go to south of the border.
That is so true. That is crazy too, right? Because we all knew that
would be that's a core memory. And I actually think that if it's not for Trinity, it has to be, because like she was totally fine the fact that she had wasted hours of driving. Like, okay, I was here. But I did get to talk to a parrot, so that was cool. Did you talk to the parrot while we were there?
No, I didn't talk to the
Was
parrot.
it just me talking to the parrot? I was very enamored by this parrot. I was like, that was worth 8 hours of driving.
Yeah. Well,
oh my gosh, and then we got to Beaufort.
It's Beaufort.
And they didn't have our hotel. Beaufort.
Yeah, they didn't have it. Yeah.
Anyway, that was very
good. But that all worked out because it would have been a Jesus moment. And so I'm glad that all worked out.
Me, I had to leaving. Remember, because I got there and then that was happening and I was like, I'm going to control myself. And I went to the bar and got us some drinks.
Yeah, you did. You did.
And then the lady was like, we're closing soon. I was like, go ahead and make another one, love. I'm just kidding.
But that's okay, because I was just determined to pray us through that, and everything worked out exactly the way it was supposed to.
I love that you're telling the people you prayed your way through that.
I did.
You were.
I did.
You were praying quietly and yelling loudly.
That is true.
I'm sorry. Let me leave you alone.
But I can guarantee you that if they knew what happened to us when we got to that hotel, they would have been yelling too. As a matter of fact, they wouldn't have been praying silently. They would have been speaking in tongues or something. I'm just saying, that was an experience at the end of a long day. But I'm glad you brought that up, because I think it just goes to prove that sometimes we have to create these memories even when they're not memories that we necessarily want. You know?
Well, I
don't think any of us want to go to south of the border.
Well, no, but I mean, I think that is the thing about the memory, though. Like, even though like south of the border is totally crappy, like that's a funny, really great memory for me. Like this is peak hilariousness. I don't know if that's a word, but like that whole thing was funny, and like now I can even laugh, even though I know we were having a rough night when we got back to that hotel. Like, that's a core memory for me. It was just, we were just going and having fun, and like it was a little spontaneous. It was a little fun, and like it was a good trip. And like, yeah, I also have it like pictures.
And that bartender made a good drink.
That was the best Jolly Rancher we've ever had.
Ever.
Yeah, we've been chasing that drink ever since, and we've never.
That is true.
Gotten another one.
That is
true. It was a Jolly Rancher, I think is what.
Yeah, but I'm not going back to Beaufort for that.
No, we're not. But also, I will say that like I love that picture that when we went to Beaufort, and I'm like staring at the schoolhouse, and you have like this beautiful picture of me.
I do.
Like admiring the history, and I think that's indicative of a lot of things. Of like we have been much more intentional, other than the south of the border, like of chasing these memories for things that are impactful, like making sure the trips that we're going on are trips that are like, you know, bucket list trips, or and being intentional about spending time on those experiences rather than those things.
Yeah.
And I think about right now, where one of my biggest goals for this year was to pay off as much debt as I could. And I've been on a really great journey with that. And I think the interesting thing is that I have minimized spending so much on things. And I've been literally taking out like carfuls of stuff out of the house to donate and making
Exactly.
space for things that are truly giving me joy. But then when
Exactly.
I thought about that, it has given me much more freedom to spend money on experiences
Yes,
and
definitely.
experiences that we will have this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's one of those things of like, it is the alignment there. And when you talk about like short-term happiness versus these bigger long-term goals, like
Mm-hmm.
that is the goal, right? To like minimalism, even though you don't want to call yourself a minimalist, I would love to kind of get closer to that. It's okay.
Shh, don't say that.
Like it is this thing of like being intentional about what you choose to spend
Yes.
your money on, the things that you choose to have.
Yes.
Is this something that's going to help me in this moment or make me feel a short-term burst of happiness, or is this going to be chasing this long-term memory, happiness, joy, whatever you want to call it, peace, whatever. If you want to call it joy, it's fine.
Don't be petty.
We just discussed this.
Yeah.
Not possible.
No,
Does
I
not
mean that's
compute.
absolutely right. Are the things that you're consuming, are the ways that you're spending your time, is that really helping
And
you
resources.
to get closer to the life that you want? I just sold all of my craft stuff.
Which I'm still in shock about. I mean, I know that you did do it because there's like lots of things missing, but I was like, what?
Yes, but so this has been part of that journey too. Like, why in the world do I have all of this stuff? Like, this is
Mm-hmm.
so ridiculous on another level to the point where, like, the clutter. I mean, first of all, I take that back. It wasn't cluttered. Anybody that knows me is I'm not going to have clutter, but it's a lot of stuff that I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even using.
Yeah, I was just taking up space. Like it wasn't cluttered or messy,
No,
but it was taking
exactly.
up
So,
space.
like, I sold a bunch of stuff, but that that also brought me to another like challenge that I had with trying to um get rid of things, is that
Mm-hmm.
I read how much of things that are donated ends
Yeah.
up in the landfills, and I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
that made me compelled even more because
Yeah, like
when
you
you
can't
do
even say,
stuff
oh,
from
well, it'll go somewhere good.
yeah, yeah, you can't even do that. And if I'm being honest, it's really hard to give away stuff. Just to
Yeah.
say, hey, I have stuff to give away, because that means somebody has to manage it and somebody has to do all that. So I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just have gotten to this point where I am just tired of having stuff that I don't use
Yeah.
in my site.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
think
it's
one.
Amazon's
Oh.
fault.
Well,
I'll
I
just say that
mean,
right now.
I think that. Well, I mean, not to get too meta, because I feel like I've been getting like all into the meta of things, but like it is indicative of our culture that we would have such a thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
it's crazy
yeah,
because I literally said, you know what? I want to start juicing. And I just went on Amazon and bought a juicer. Okay. And
yeah.
then I went to Kevin and say, hey, look, I just got this juicer because I want to start juicing.
I
And you
remember
know
this.
what he said to me?
We have a juicer.
He said the Vitamix could do that. And
Which is a really good blender, you psycho.
I'm like, why'd I spend $40 on the juicer?
Yeah. So one of the things that I think has been really a challenge for me, so right, I have limited that like getting new things, but I think one of the biggest challenges for me in like pursuing like decluttering or a more minimalist lifestyle, and I will also say that like my goal right? I know you know this, but my goal is to like have an RV and like be able to live in the RV full time. And that means that I have to downsize so much of life. And I think that'll really help me to make the hard decisions, Marie Kondo style. But I think one of the biggest challenges that I've had in chasing more memories or alignment for life and less things is that I have an emotion, and I think most people do, right? But like I have an emotional attachment to some things. Like I have some skirts that I finally got rid of. And I shouldn't say I got rid of them. I took them to a church because I won't take things to Goodwill. That's even before I knew that how many things at Goodwill don't make it to actual people. So I like, instead of going to a community group or like a homeless shelter or something like that. But anyway, all of that being said, like I had these skirts that I bought. And I bought those skirts when I was at Macy's, and like those skirts were kind of like this thing that was like indicative of me transitioning into like a professional. Mm-hmm. So those were the skirts that I wore when I was like first an intern and got my first, career HR job. And I would look at them in my thing and like, oh, they're so pretty and they're floral and oh, they look so cute and professional. But it's not even like something I wear style wise anymore. Like I haven't touched those skirts in 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. And maybe even more than that, actually, because I don't think I've ever worn those skirts at my current job, which means they haven't been worn in like 4 years. And it took a lot out of me to actually put those in a bag to donate. And that's hard because that's like you're not just making a decision to declutter, you're making a decision every single time, like hoarders, yeah. to get rid of something, even though you haven't used it. And I think one, big kudos to you, because I know like a lot of you becoming a crafter and all of those things that you did like kind of became part of your identity in many ways, even though you don't like the labels, but you call yourself a crafter. That's how I know you were super drank the Kool-Aid. But anyway, so I'll let you chat, but like all I'm saying is like I think one of the biggest things in this is like having the guts or the courage to say I'm going to make hard decisions every single time I choose to minimalize or choose to get rid of something. And that is more than just the same way that chasing happiness or joy is hard. It's just as hard to get rid of the things that are not serving you in that journey.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Drops mic. I'm gonna drop my snowball on the floor. That was
don't do that.
Was some words.
That was. I mean, I absolutely love that you said that too, and I just want to speak to all the moms out there too, because I feel like at times we can be challenged too, right? To go along with whatever the norm is. So a few years ago,
you threw away my stuffed animals.
Well, that too. But
you left them in the attic.
Oh, well, that too.
I'm not over that yet. See, I had an emotional attachment to those.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you for saying sorry finally. No, mommy, that's not an apology. You're old enough to know that's not an apology. Wow.
No.
Didn't you just finish talking about how you've grown as a person? No, just joking. It's not an apology.
No, I was just actually but this is the thing about awareness. After I said it, I was like, did I just say that? Did that just come out of my mouth?
To apologize?
No, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to add the after part.
Yeah, because you didn't mean it. It was an automatic response.
No, of course. Of course. But you know what? You
can try again.
You threw me when you said I hadn't apologized before. And I was thinking, surely she must be wrong about that.
No, I don't. It was actually a while before I knew that it happened. Y'all moved. And then I was like, wait a minute. Actually, that's what happened. I was like, when I was moving stuff from my apartment to Brandon's, That's why I was like, wait a second, all of my stuffed animals aren't in this box. I still have stuffed animals with boxes because that's one emotional thing that I can't get rid of. And then you all left Fluffy in an attic.
Oh my gosh, Fluffy.
See, isn't that butthole behavior?
That is true. And I sincerely apologize because I would feel some type of way if somebody left my Doctor Who Build-A-Bear in some attic.
See, that's what y'all did to me. And I was traumatized.
I'm sorry.
But it's okay. This is a healing moment for me. Thank you. Thank you for giving me that space to grieve Fluffy. I'm not even joking. Like, I was so upset.
You are so welcome. I'm glad that I could hold
a year later
for you.
Thank you. Yeah, but I will always have fond memories of Fluffy, so I think that's a good nugget, right? Like, you don't have to have this thing for you to remember what it meant to you.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, like I will remember those skirts and what they meant to me at that time. There's a lot here. There's a lot to unpack with that.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up too. Before we pivoted into Fluffy.
I've been waiting for that apology, so that's why. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
To my moms, to let them know, that I think it was maybe 3-4 years ago, I was just like, okay, I'm not doing this Valentine's thing anymore. And I'm not doing this Easter thing anymore and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And that might be a difficult thing, especially when your kids see other people doing it, right? And they want to be a part of it and they want to do it. And what I really found out was that if we're creating the memories as a family that we need to and that we want to, it doesn't really matter whether it's some commercialized holiday. It doesn't really matter, how you do it, as long as you do what matters to you all. And you talking about your skirts, that would be the question that I would ask you. What are you making those skirts mean to you?
Yeah.
I guess it's because I don't really get attached to things in that sense. I mean, there may be a few little things I get attached to, like certain things that you kids have done for me over the years. And of course, I'm attached to a few things from my grandmother now that she's not here, but I don't get attached to things like that. Mm-hmm. Which is why I got in trouble with my husband, because I was like, do I need to keep this wedding gown?
Girl. I'm sorry. Mommy. Now that man is low-key sentimental. I don't even know why you asked that.
And he was so offended and I felt so bad, right?
As you should.
Yes. But then I didn't.
That's Cyberman behavior, man.
But I didn't want it in my closet. It's taking up space.
It's still in one of those like garment bag things.
It
like
is.
Hanging. Well, no, because you do.
It's not hanging.
Why am I telling you this? You get it put in that like preservation box and you put it on the top shelf.
Box because the box is big too.
Yeah, but it's not hanging and it's like out of the way.
It's not hanging.
In the box. Oh, it's not hanging.
No, it's on the shelf in the closet. It's just that it's just there. Like,
Mommy, okay. So now that I do like your husband, I'm gonna defend him on this podcast, okay? Because that man has held in his heart for 20 years apparently about your wedding day vows, okay?
Oh, we're not gonna talk about that.
And you thought it was okay to ask that same man, okay, if you could get rid of your wedding dress?
Okay. Girl. So I guess I'm taking the less things, more memories too far.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay, because there is so kind of like, anyway, if you're listening to this and you didn't watch or haven't watched or even are aware of this lady, Marie Kondo, I feel like that's a really good like gateway drug to this conversation, because I'm not saying that like the entire way, like you should live in a Marie Kondo way, but
Probably not, because not to cut you off,
did
but
she get in
have
trouble
you
for
looked
something?
up her lately?
What happened? What did she do?
She didn't do anything. But however, when life changes for you, your intentions change. And so now some of the things that she has originally written, because she has a child now,
she changed.
She changed.
That's evolution. I'm good with that.
No, I wasn't saying anything's wrong with it. I was just bringing that to your awareness because it didn't sound like you knew that she had a child. Yeah.
No, but like, if I'm going to be honest here, like I don't agree with everything that Marie Kondo did. It's just like a good way to like understand like the process of it. But I appreciated the way, I think her system, at least in the way that it's presented in the show, because I didn't read her book or anything, but it was like there are things and then there are keepsakes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's one of the things of why you should have never asked that question, because like a wedding gown is a keepsake for most people.
But it's not a keepsake for me, so that's why I asked the question. It's okay.
All right. Well, no. I mean, I get why you asked that question. That's in alignment with your Cyberman tendencies.
See,
but that was not in alignment with your other.
Well, then that's why I asked him if I could put it in his closet, and he told me no.
Because that's basic. So in theory, right? That's like you just like, it's still you getting rid of it. It's like, I don't want this anymore. You can put this in your closet.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, I agree. You're absolutely right. And somebody should have done something to me about that.
Maybe you should have asked somebody other than your own brain.
Yeah, well, next time. So, yes. So here's,
when did you do this?
More memories. I don't know. I don't remember. It was a while ago. When I was Marie Kondoing my closet and looking at, does this give me joy? Does this
and you didn't joy? Stop and say, oh, she had a section about keepsakes.
Yes, she has a section about keepsake, but it's not. I don't see it as a keepsake. I just see it as a dress that I wore on my wedding day.
Okay. Well, I feel like now we're in like a circular reasoning thing that we don't need to go into further.
Oh no, okay. but when we go back to, we talk about memories, my memory of that day is not attached to the dress.
Yeah, that's great that you have that ability. Yeah. Which, I mean, I think that's where people should go. Like, I think people should be able to, say like, this memory remains, the importance of this day remains, or whatever, even though I don't have this physical thing that is attached to that. But I think that's like an evolution of the journey. Like,
so I have a superpower. Yes,
I think so.
Superpower.
I mean, it does give sociopathic behavior. I mean, you got to even think with as much true crime that I watch, even sociopaths.
Let's end this right now. Let's end this podcast right now.
Even sociopaths. No, I'm going to finish this. Even sociopaths keep keepsakes. It's often terrible and later used as evidence, but yeah.
No.
You're psycho.
Because I don't want any. You know what? It's quite a thing.
It's quite psycho. Okay, so I think we've covered, I want to say, all of the topics. So
and some
more. Lots of topics. So is there anything like closing words, guidance, strategies, something that you feel like would help the audience on the journey that you are very successfully going through, to the extent that you are willing to throw away your wedding dress?
Wow, that was kind of harsh.
I am a Scorpio.
So am I.
Talking to another Scorpio.
But obviously one is more mature than the other.
I never said I was mature. I never said
stage
that.
of life.
Never said that.
I mean, I think it's just about being honest with yourself and creating a life without the burden of doing things and having things and being the person because somebody else thinks you should be, you know, and just being honest about what's no longer working in your life. You know, holding on to those craft supplies for so long when I was just like, this doesn't feel like me anymore. But that's who everybody saw me as.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just having these honest conversations with yourself. And, you know, like at the end of the day, I'm sorry, as morbid as it's going to sound, when I'm on my deathbed, what is going to really matter to me? That I kept all these crafting supplies because I couldn't bring myself to give them away? Or that I spent my days doing the things that I really wanted to do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. And I feel like it's just so freeing to, and I know that it isn't about like always about having things like physical things. I understand that. But there is this freedom in just not having clutter.
mm-hmm.
And I don't mean like messy hoarders clutter. I just mean having more things than you truly need in your life.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something so beautiful about not being consumed by those things and having the freedom to do the things and having a clear mind to think the things that you want to.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, it's a journey. I didn't just wake up and say, you know, okay, I'm
throwing away my wedding dress
today.
You
know what? You bring that up one more time, girl.
What you gonna do? Beat me?
I'm gonna turn into River Song.
Okay, from Doctor Who. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I'm gonna turn into River Song.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
You know, I think she murdered her mother, didn't she?
She did. And the doctor.
Yeah.
And the picture that's on my wall of her is of her holding a Cyberman's head off its body. So
I love that you said this in a completely normal way, which does prove my point.
whatever, little girl.
I'm glad that you were able to reach down and be the nurturing mother that you were for me. Thank you.
You're welcome, because I was a great mother.
You're a great mother.
You're still
a great mother.
I am.
But you have sociopathic tendencies.
It's the greatest thing I'll ever do. No, I take that back. I said I wasn't going to say that anymore.
Oh, is that because it's a label?
No, because there's still so much more that I have to do.
Oh, okay. I think that's true. We have many lives to impact.
Yes, we do.
And we have many journeys that we will be a part of, and that's exciting.
But I'm glad that this podcast is here, because I'm glad that I can end this podcast.
Are you ending?
No, I'm saying I'm glad that I can end the podcast knowing that, you know, you have those core memories.
Oh, yeah. I have so many core memories.
Yes, and so that just brings me a lot of joy, not happiness. It brings me so much joy.
Are you crying? It's cute. Yeah. I've had a good life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's
think we
good.
should end it on that note.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah.
All right. So, chasers, until next time, we are wishing you much, much success in chasing your biggest goals. And we also hope that you take time to really consider what kind of memories you want to chase and what kind of things you want to chase, and really make sure to build that into your life so that you can live a life of intention. So, thanks for listening.
Toodles.